Tonight, heartbroken and healing.
We're going to heal and get better, and we're all here with each other to do so.
The deaf community coming together. A wife, suddenly a widow.
So it's almost been 1 year and then he was killed, and it's so senseless, and I don't understand why.
A look at the 18 people who lost their lives in Lewiston, how a manhunt came to an end, and how families and friends are finding strength to move forward.
It's a miracle, really, that I'm still here.
18 people lost, 18 families grieving and trying to heal tonight in Lewiston and beyond after Maine's worst mass shooting. With the manhunt now over, loved ones, families, friends, entire communities now shifting their focus from fear to healing. Police say right now they want the nation to remember Maine as a community coming together. At a news briefing last night, police gave the long hoped for update on the manhunt. The lone suspect found at 7:45 Friday night, dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound on a property owned by the Maine Recycling Corporation on Capitol Avenue in Lisbon. His body found in an unlocked box trailer in an overflow parking lot across from the main facility there. They also say they found 2 guns next to his body, though not the long gun possibly used in these mass shootings. That was found in his abandoned vehicle at the boat launch just 2 days before. Police also talk more about the note that they say they found in his home earlier in the investigation.
It's a note to a loved one, and is saying that this is the passcode for my phone, this is the bank account numbers, and I wouldn't describe it as a explicit suicide note, but the tone and tenor was that the individual was not going to be around and wanted to make sure that this loved one had access.
Now, police say the suspect's family has been very cooperative throughout, and that the first 3 phone calls identifying him during the manhunt came from family members. Also tonight, there are growing memorials for the victims all across parts of Lewiston and beyond. Now, if you want to help, you can scan a QR code right there on your screen. The state has a website. It is dedicated to helping families and communities that are affected by this tragedy. The QR code on that screen will take you directly to that website. It includes ways that you can help the victims and the families, mental health support resources, and a whole lot more. Now here's an update on where the hospitalizations stand at CMMC from Wednesday night's shootings. As of about 3 o'clock this afternoon, 4 patients still at the hospital, 3 still fighting for their lives in critical condition, which has been the case since Wednesday night. 1 remains in stable condition. While that care does continue, a different type of healing process is underway now for those who had loved ones who didn't make it. CBS 13's Asia Reed spoke today with the wife of a person who is deaf and died at Shemengi's bar.
Wednesday's shootings hit the deaf community hard. They lost 4 people that night, one of them being Steve Vazella.
I met him July of 2009, and we were together for 14 years until we were just married last year. It hasn't been that long.
Holding a photo of him closely, Megan Vozella talks about the last time she saw her husband Steve alive, Wednesday morning.
Steve always said, "Bella, I love you." So that's the last time he told my daughter, "I love you." I gave him a kiss goodbye, said, "I love you." Off we went.
After work, they chatted over video right before he went to Shemengi's.
I called my husband, just checking in, see how he was doing. How's your day going? He smiled. He was joyful.
That was the last time they ever spoke. Hours later, Steve, who was deaf, was relaxing with others playing cornhole. Moments later, he was gone forever.
And then he was killed, and it's so senseless, and I don't understand why. He's precious to me. He's always happy. He's always asking about other people, always taking care of his family.
Megan Vozella says she can finally breathe now, but there's a lot of healing to do.
It's too much. We're just grieving. We're in shock. I can breathe a little bit now, but we'll never forget this. The pain will continue on, and it really hurts, and it's just so painful to see gun violence.
Megan Vazella says to please give their family space at this time. And the best thing that she can do right now is give support to her daughter and her stepson. In South Paris, Asia Reed, CBS 13 News.
While Steve, Rosella, and 7 others died at that bar that night, we are hearing more of the harrowing stories of survival. CBS 13's Brad Rogers joining us live outside of Schmenge's bar. Brad, you got a chance to speak with a woman who got a good look at that gunman before she was shot herself and then got to safety.
She absolutely did, and then seconds later she was shot. Now, Jennifer Zanka had just finished golfing with 4 friends, and the 4 of them decided to meet up here at Schmenge's. She says she had her back to the door when she heard rapid gunfire. Now, she says an exploding bullet is what hit her left shoulder, a bullet that she says is intended to do maximum damage. She told us that she feared the bullet hit an artery, and she really thought she was going to bleed out before she got to the hospital. She feared she would die that night and never see her children again.
I heard the gun. I heard the rapid fire, just that. It was just so odd. So I turned around, and I could see the expression on the other girl's face, like, get down. So I looked at the gunman, and I just dropped to the floor, and we crawled.
Jennifer Zanka was shot on the shoulder while she was trying to crawl to safety. Her sister-in-law played dead while a friend hid in a closet. She made it out, and as a former nurse, she used her right hand to hold her left shoulder like a tourniquet and flag down help. She may be the only survivor who got a good look at the gunman's face.
And then I sort of remember it was just a sort of blank, vacant. It was like vacant. I don't know how else to describe it. I'll be going along fine and talking to people, and then I have that vision of that man with a machine gun or whatever, and it's a miracle, really, that I'm still here. It didn't hit an artery. I didn't have any nerve damage. I won't really have much functioning on my bicep or my deltoid, but it's I have function in my hand.
Zanka used to work with one of the surgeons who operated on her and says they did an incredible job. She's also been talking to the friend she was with that night.
I've asked them how they're doing. They seem to be okay, but I do think that in time, it needs to come out, because what we saw was horrific. I keep going over in my mind, like, what could make someone snap like that, and what can we do different?
She says what's amazing in the wake of this unbelievable tragedy is the outpouring of support from this entire community, this entire state.
The outpouring of support and love and community is just blows me away, and it's really heartening, to have that kind of support.
Now, Jennifer Zanka's 3 other friends that she was with, they were not injured. She told me that her shoulder hurts only when she moves, which you can imagine. At that time, though, she has a very sharp pain. When she moves, has to move her shoulder. She's on painkillers, too, to try to minimize some of that pain and discomfort. She says she'll know more when she meets with doctors next week on whether she will have to need more surgeries or not. But we are grateful she is alive and well. We are live in Lewiston. Brad Rogers, CBS 13 News. Greg?
All right, absolutely. All hoping for her strong recovery. Thank you, Brad. Also happening right now, hundreds are gathering for a vigil in Lisbon for the 18 people who died Wednesday night, as well as for the injured and their families. CBS 13's Owen Kingsley's been talking with people in the community. He's joining us there live. And Owen, you also spoke with a mother and a daughter who were very close to one of the heroes of these shootings.
Good evening, Greg. Behind me is the first major vigil to begin the grieving process for this community. But yes, as you mentioned, I did speak earlier today with Madison Sanborn and her mom. Madison was a cornhole partner with Joe Walker, the manager of Schmenge's. She says that he was more than just a friend. He was an inspiration, especially now after his death. This community is still in mourning. Madison Sanborn is just one of those people who lost someone special in their lives, Joe Walker. Walker is being hailed a hero.
Everyone knew I loved cornhole and played at Schmenge's, and so I had 3 people text me being like, "Where are you? Are you home? Are you safe?" I'm like, "Yeah, why? What's up?" They're like, "There was a shooting at Schmenge's."
A gunman came inside Schmenge's Bar and Grill Wednesday evening after already shooting and killing 7 people at a bowling alley and shot and killed 8 more. Joe Walker's dad says his son attacked the shooter with a knife, losing his life while trying to save others.
And risked his life for those people because that's just who he is.
Madison Sanborn met Walker last year when he taught her to play cornhole. She says Joe took her under his wing and they became partners, winning several tournaments together. But her greatest memory isn't any of the wins, but when another of her playing partners inexplicably left in the midst of a tournament. That's when Joe gave her a pep talk, then hopped in to help her finish.
That moment, I ended up crying, not because I lost, because of how grateful I was for Joe and that he was there for me in that moment.
This Sunday is Madison's 15th birthday, and she was going to spend it playing cornhole at Schmenge's with her partner Joe in a tournament that he organized. Instead, she found out Thursday from Walker's nephew, a classmate of hers, that he had died.
Me, my mom, my sister all just broke down. We didn't know what to say or do. We just kind of cried it out.
Since his passing, this cornhole community is paying tribute to Walker's sacrifice and passion for the game by signing up for his Sunday tournament, even though now it will happen only in spirit.
We're going to heal and get better, and we're all here with each other to do so.
So far, more than 9,000 people have signed up for Joe Walker's cornhole tournament. As for this vigil happening behind me, we'll have more details from here coming up during the 7 o'clock hour. Live in Lisbon, I'm Owen Kingsley, CBS 13 News.
All right, Owen, so much sorrow, but so much strength as well. Thank you, Owen. Let's put the focus back now on the investigation. Law enforcement telling us more about the manhunt and what may have led up to these deadly acts. CBS 13's Johnny Maffey has tonight's new details.
The search for the shooter may be over, but the investigation is far from it. Maine Public Safety Commissioner Mike Soschek says the motive is still unclear, but mental health played a key factor.
I think clearly there's a mental health component to this. We still need to do some research around trying to get access to certain records and things of that nature.
Deceased Lewiston mass shooting suspect Robert Card's mental state was addressed, including what led Card to allegedly opening fire in the first place. Commissioner Soschek said paranoia could have played a role.
What I've read and what I've seen is that the individual felt like people were talking about him. It may even appear that there were some voices in play here. And we don't believe that any of that is accurate. And I think that led him specifically back to those two specific locations.
Concerns about Card from commanders in the Army Reserve have surfaced since the shooting, leading to tough questions about Maine's yellow flag law, which outlines several steps that have to be taken before a weapon can be removed from a person who poses a danger to himself or others. But in this case, because while Card was institutionalized for 2 weeks this summer, it's not clear if he was committed by someone else forcibly at any point, which is required to apply the yellow flag law.
Did you say that you don't know of any forcible mental health visits, or there were not any forcible?
There's none that I'm aware of. We've had people check that have told me that they haven't found those. So if they exist, I'm sure we'll continue to dig and try to find them, but I haven't found them.
So a quick follow-up to that then.
Yep.
We're learning there may have been from the local source high up in law enforcement that we have. If you found that the yellow flag law should have been enacted, how will you hold those responsible?
So that's a pretty good hypothetical from whoever your source is. We'll have to look at the actual snapshot in time. The yellow flag law in the state of Maine is very specific about an individual that's in protective custody from law enforcement to begin with. And do we have probable cause to believe that they are in possession, they could be in possession of dangerous weapons?
18 people died Wednesday night.
My broader question would be, will you work to try to prevent things like this from happening?
I would tell you that the weapons restriction order in Maine has been utilized 82 times. It has been effective to this point, and it's certainly something that we're always looking at. Can we tweak it? Can we make things better?
And we're told investigators will be at the bar in the bowling alley at least through the weekend, searching, quote, every square inch. Reporting in Lewiston, I'm Johnny Maffey.
Now, as we mentioned, the lone suspect's body was found at a location not far from where his car was found in Lisbon, where he used to work. Now, that's leading to questions about why it took 48 hours to discover his body. Well, today we learned some of those details, that investigators found the body inside of a trailer in a parking lot across the street from the main part of the Maine Recycling Corporation. You can see this on the map. That overflow trailer lot, that's near the bottom of your screen, right next to the Androscoggin River there. Now, police say the main property up above that upper left there was cleared twice. The owner of that property called again, prompting them to expand a more focused search to that lot.
Nobody had any idea that across the street, across Capitol Avenue, there's an overflow parking lot, which is the Recycling Corporation property. So the owner was very diligent to say, well, did you clear those trailers? Well, what trailers are you talking about? So then the follow-up is with the tactical team commanders to say, okay, tell me exactly where you were at. And then they were doing the same thing. We were looking at our timeline. We cleaned trailers. We didn't clear those. Let's go back. So the Maine State Police tactical team ultimately were the ones that located the body within one of those trailers.
And we continue our team coverage now with Megan Clark. She has a closer look at how officers made that key discovery after days of searching.
Authorities already searched and cleared this area twice, but they were called back again Friday after a tip from a supervisor led them here. And that's when tactical teams were called in. Police standing guard Saturday outside the Maine Recycling Corporation in Lewiston, hours after the body of suspected mass shooter Robert Card was discovered in the back of a box trailer unlocked in an overflow parking lot.
55, 60, 53-foot tractor trailer trucks parked there. A lot of areas, but the supervisor called us from Maine Recycling, gave us that info yesterday evening saying, listen, some of those trucks are full of stuff. Plenty of places to hide. You know, it's recycled plastic and materials. He could climb up in over it, hunker down.
While agents and police covered Lisbon and Lewiston, state police tactical teams rushed into the center, going through massive trucks like this one.
They're manually searching these tractor trailer trucks for somebody that's just shot so many people and murdered so many people.
Around 7:45 Friday night, Lisbon Chief Ryan McGee got a call. Card was found inside, along with at least one gun.
And he said, we got him. That was a good feeling. And it was a good feeling.
The recycling center sending out a statement clarifying Card was a commercial driver for about a year and left the company last spring, saying, we may never know and certainly will never comprehend why he committed these horrific acts against our neighbors and friends, or why he chose to end his life where he did. A nearby business owner who did not want to share his name is also processing the terrible events just minutes away.
Like Ryan McGee said today in the press conference, it needs to be more focused on the victims, not, so much for the person that did it at the moment. We really need to, help them get through this.
His company is working on a job at the center. Some of his equipment is still on site. He visited the lot days ago to check on the job. Like many, he now hopes for healing.
I believe we're all going to get past this. This is going to take time. That's all it's going to be. Just need to focus back on to, now that the manhunt's over, just need to focus on the victims and the families.
And police have opened up this area to cars, but the chief says there is still a lot of work to do as this is still an active homicide investigation. Reporting in Lisbon, Megan Clark, back to you.
And we had a very, very warm day out there today. Record high temperatures were broken in spots. In Portland, for example, we did top out at 79 degrees. There are some reports we may have even touched 80 degrees. This is the unofficial record, but either way, we did break the record high of 78 degrees, which was set back in 1947. And the high temperatures from today, yeah, you can see we had 80s in spots, 82 degrees in Manchester, 83 degrees in Rochester, 82 for today in Freiburg. Most areas, though, were in the upper 70s, and we had 80 degrees as well over towards Augusta. The temperatures are still very warm for this time of the year. We should be in the low to mid 50s for most areas for actual daytime highs. We are still around 70 to 73 degrees for most. Look at this, though. 58 degrees right now in Berlin. We have a cold front that's marching through the state as we speak, and these numbers are going to drop by the time we get to about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We're probably in the upper 50s in the Portland area. As this cold front passes through, the numbers are dropping pretty rapidly, and now the winds are out of the north and west, and this is eventually going to bring in some of that cooler air as we head through the next several hours, and especially as we head into the day tomorrow. See those scattered showers that were out there earlier on this afternoon? Those showers passed through, and that was the cold front that passed through as well. We are going to see a mainly dry night for the nighttime tonight. So much cooler and some rain is expected as we head into later on tomorrow as well as on Monday. And then, yes, some mountain snow is likely as well. But overall, it is going to be a very chilly week ahead. We are going to see Partly cloudy skies for the nighttime tonight. Notice temperatures a little bit cooler up towards the far north. We'll see lower 40s for most. So still a big difference compared to what we saw today. Temperatures almost 35 to 40 degrees cooler as we head through the nighttime tonight as compared to this afternoon. Temperatures tomorrow topping out only in the 40s across the state. We're looking at some rain as we head into later on in the afternoon and especially by the evening. And by the time we get to Monday, that's when the rain will really start to move in. Highs tomorrow, again, only in the 40s to near 50 degrees. So let's time this out. We are dry for the nighttime tonight. Clouds move in overnight and into tomorrow morning. We're looking at rain developing for the afternoon. Looks like mainly in southern parts of the state. This computer model I do not totally agree with. I think we're going to see some scattered showers through the evening on Monday, and then steadier rain is expected on Monday. But notice snow up towards the north, and this will be generally a rainstorm for most areas. But notice again, the mountains and across the north, we are expecting some snow. And yes, this is the first snowfall map of the season. We're only going to see a little bit of accumulation up towards the north. It looks like generally a coating to 2 inches for most. And then some of the higher elevations, I do think we could see upwards of 2 to 4 inches of snow. This is Sunday night into the day on Monday. Where you do not see any contour is where it is going to rain. And that includes Portland, that includes Sanford, Augusta, Lewiston, as well as even up towards the Bangor area. Now temperatures running in the low 40s for the nighttime tonight. As we head into tomorrow, we're looking at highs in the upper 40s. We'll see some rain out there as well. And a look at your 7-day forecast, we're looking at, again, that rain for later on Monday into the day, later on Sunday into the day on Monday. Temperatures running in the 40s. And we'll see some mountain snow as well. Tuesday, we dry out. That is, of course, Halloween. It will be on the cool side, but it looks mostly dry for trick-or-treaters. Cloudy skies on Wednesday. Chance for rain or snow showers. I think for the most part, we're going to stay dry. And then the sunshine returns again on Thursday. Greg?
All right, Ryan, thanks so much. Bottom will fall out of those temperatures, folks. Thank you for watching tonight. We'll be back with a full hour of coverage ahead at 7 o'clock on CBS 13. We'll see you then.